Stop everything you are doing. Listen to these words with the intensity of a man who has already decided that his current reality is no longer acceptable. This is our contract. If you give me your undivided focus, if you absorb these principles, and if you return to this message daily until it becomes your operating system, then I promise you the desperate chase for money will end. You will begin to move through the world with a new gravity, a new power, and when the opportunities start flowing to you, when the wealth begins to accumulate, do not be surprised. It will not be luck. It will not be an accident. It will simply be the inevitable harvest of the identity you are about to build. So if you are ready to stop being a spectator and start being an architect, subscribe now. This is not a channel. This is your training ground. You have been taught a lie. The lie is that if you simply do more, you will have more. This is a linear equation for a non-linear world. It's the assembly line mindset applied to the art of creation. It is fundamentally flawed because it ignores the most powerful variable in the entire equation. Your identity, your outer world, is nothing more than a mirror reflecting your inner state. Wealth is not a physical substance you acquire. It is a resonance you tune into. Your financial reality is not a measure of your hustle, but a direct printout of your dominant beliefs and your self-image. The ancient principle that thoughts are things is a literal law of physics in the realm of achievement. Thoughts emanating from an identity of scarcity will, with absolute certainty, materialize a reality of scarcity. So, what is a magnetic identity? What is this wealth magnet we are building today? It is a state of being. It's an internal operating system where the beliefs, emotions, and self-perception are so profoundly aligned with prosperity that wealth-generating actions become effortless. They become your natural state of expression, not a forced discipline. It's when opportunities are not chased, but simply seen and acted upon from a place of congruence. This is the shift from doing to have to being to have. You don't act rich to get rich. You cultivate the identity of a creator of value, and wealth becomes the inevitable byproduct. This is the secret of the Titans. They didn't build their empires through sheer effort alone. They first built the identity of an emperor in their minds, and the empire was merely the shadow that this identity cast upon the world. So we are not here to learn another tactic. We are here to undergo a metamorphosis, a structured demolition of the old failing identity and the deliberate engineering of a new one. This transformation follows a precise map, a four-phase protocol that will take you from who you have been to who you were always meant to become. This is your path to becoming a true architect of your reality. The four stages are the architect who designs the blueprint, the believer who internalizes the design as truth, the general who commands action from this new identity, and finally the conqueror who solidifies this new reality through results. Each stage builds upon the last, forging a new you from the inside out. Prepare yourself. We are not adding a layer of paint to a crumbling wall. We are tearing the structure down to its foundations and rebuilding it with steel. This process requires your full commitment. It demands that you leave your old self behind. The journey begins now. Are you ready to build? Nothing of value is ever created by accident. Every great bridge, every symphony, every empire first existed as a thought, a detailed blueprint in the mind of its creator. The same is true for a powerful identity. You cannot stumble into becoming a man of wealth and power. You must design him with the precision of an architect. This is the first and most critical law of triumph, definiteness of purpose. Without a clear, specific blueprint for the man you intend to become, your mind will default to its old programming. It will continue to build the identity given to you by your past, your fears, and the limited beliefs of others. An undefined purpose is a guarantee of mediocrity because it leaves the most powerful construction force in the universe, your mind, without instructions, aimlessly building a shack. of survival instead of a fortress of power. In this first phase, we activate what is known as synthetic imagination. This is the faculty of your mind that arranges old concepts, ideas, and plans into new combinations. Think of it as having all the raw materials, steel, concrete, glass, at your disposal. Your job now is not to invent new materials, but to assemble them into a unique and powerful new structure. You are designing your future self. You will become a deliberate creator. This is where you stop being a passive recipient of circumstance and become the active designer of your destiny. You will take the scattered ideas of success and wealth and you will give them form, texture, and a concrete reality. You will define the attributes of this new man down to the smallest detail. This is not a game of make-believe. This is an act of profound creation. Henry Ford did not try to build a car. He held a clear, unshakable vision of a V8 engine in his mind and commanded his engineers to create it, even when they said it was impossible. He was the architect of a reality that did not yet exist. You must do the same for your new identity. The quality of your blueprint will determine the quality of your final structure. A vague sketch results in a wobbly foundation. A detailed, precise, and emotionally charged blueprint commands the forces of the universe to conspire for its creation. You must be ruthless in your clarity. You must be obsessed with the details of your design. This is your first act of true power. The moment you decide with absolute clarity who you are becoming, you bend reality to your will. You send a signal to your subconscious mind and to the world that a new king is being crowned. So take up your tools, the drafting table is before you. Let us begin the great work. Now we move from principle to practice. This is not a metaphor. This is a command. Take out a piece of paper or open a new document on your computer. We are about to lay the first stone of your new identity. This exercise, the creation of your wealth avatar, is the most crucial piece of work you will do this year. Do not rush it. Give it the focus it deserves. You will write in detail the man you are becoming. I want you to answer these questions with visceral clarity. How does this man, your future self, walk into a room? Does he hesitate or does he move with a quiet purpose that commands space? Describe his posture, his gait, the look in his eyes. This is the physical embodiment of his internal state. What is the tone of his voice? Is it rushed and uncertain? Or is it calm, measured, and resonant with authority? How does he speak about money? Does he use words of lack and complaint, or does he speak of it as a tool, a resource, an energy he commands and multiplies? How does he handle a no? Does it crush him, or does it simply provide data for his next move? How does this avatar view risk? Does he see it as a threat to be avoided at all costs, or as a necessary component of growth to be managed with intelligence and courage? What are his 3 non-negotiable daily rituals? The actions he performs every single day without fail that forge his mind and body into a weapon of precision. The goal here is to create a character sheet so detailed that a world-class actor could read it and become this man. You must know him better than you know your current self. You must define his philosophy, his habits, his reactions, his principles. This is the DNA of your new existence. This document is your North Star. Now for the deep work, the solution. That separates the dreamers from the builders. This avatar is not a fantasy to be filed away. It is your new operational command. For the next 30 days, this is your solemn commitment. Before every significant decision, before you send that email, before you make that call, before you walk into that meeting, you will pause for 10 seconds. In that pause, you will ask yourself one question: how would my wealth avatar handle this? And then you will act. You will channel him. You will make his decision, speak with his voice, take his action. This is the bridge. This is how you begin to transfer the blueprint from the page into the cells of your being. This is the first day of your new life. Execute. The architect has drawn the blueprint. The design of your new identity is complete, it is clear, and it is powerful, but a blueprint left on the table builds nothing. It must be handed over to the construction crew. That construction crew is your subconscious mind. This is phase two, the phase of the believer. Here we transform the design into a living, breathing truth within you. Your subconscious mind is the cantero de obras, the construction site of your soul. It is the fertile soil where every seed of thought you plant and nourish with emotion and repetition will grow into a physical reality. It does not judge the seed, it does not care. If the seed is one of success or failure, courage or fear, its only job is to grow what it is given. For years, you have been unconsciously planting seeds of doubt and limitation. Today, we begin the process of conscious, deliberate planting, and the tools we use for this are the most powerful forces available to man: applied faith and autosuggestion. These are the tools of welding. They are how you take the abstract blueprint of your avatar and permanently fuse it onto the framework of your soul. Autosuggestion is the vehicle. It is the conveyor belt that carries the blueprint from your conscious mind, the architect, down into the workshop of the subconscious. It is the act of repeating the new truth, of describing the new identity over and over again until it bypasses the critical faculty and is accepted as command. But repetition alone is not enough. It is cold. To make the weld hold, you need heat. That heat is applied faith. Faith in this system is not a passive hope. It is not wishing, it is an active, manufactured, emotionally charged conviction. It is the unwavering belief in the reality of your blueprint even before it has materialized. It is the emotion that makes the subconscious listen. When you combine the repetition of autosuggestion with the intense, burning emotion of applied faith, you create a fire that reforges your neural pathways. You are literally burning the new identity into your being. You are telling your subconscious mind, in the only language it truly understands, the language of feeling, this is who I am now. Make it so. This phase is where most men fail. They treat it as an intellectual exercise, but it is a process of deep emotional immersion. You must feel the reality of being your avatar before you can see it. You must generate the emotion of success first. This is the work. This is the fire you must walk through. The internalization of your new identity requires daily, disciplined ritual. This is not negotiable. We will now install two powerful practices that will accelerate the process of becoming the believer. These are your primary tools for saturating your subconscious mind with the truth of your wealth avatar. Your first ritual is the mirror of conviction. Every single morning, before you look at your phone, before the world has a chance to impose its reality upon you, you will go to a mirror. You will look yourself directly in the eyes, not at your hair, not at your face, but deep into your own pupils. And for 60 seconds, you will repeat your new identity statement out loud. For example, I am a magnet for valuable opportunities. I create and attract prosperity with integrity and mastery. You will say it with the force and conviction of a man stating an undeniable fact, like the sun rises in the east. Why does this work? Because your brain is a congruence-seeking machine. When you see your own image and simultaneously hear your own voice declaring a powerful new truth, you create a profound neurological feedback loop. Your brain's primary job becomes to close the gap between the man it sees and the command it hears. Your second ritual is the 30-day commitment to the language of power. For the next 30 days, you will become a ruthless guard at the gate of your mind and your mouth. You will place your own vocabulary on a watch list. You will identify and mercilessly eliminate all phrases of scarcity, doubt, and victimhood. This is your personal index of forbidden words. Phrases like "this is too expensive." "For me, I can't afford that." "I never get a break." "It's impossible." These are now poison to you. You will catch them before they leave your lips, and you will replace them. You don't say, "I can't afford it." You say, I choose to allocate my resources elsewhere right now. You don't say, it's impossible. You ask, how can I make this possible? This is not about being fake or delusional. This is about understanding that your words are commands. They are programming. Every time you speak a phrase of lack, you are casting a vote for your old identity. Every time you consciously choose a phrase of power, of possibility, of agency, you are casting a vote for your new avatar. This conscious filtering of your language is one of the most difficult and therefore most powerful disciplines you can undertake. It forces you to become aware of your default programming and to actively overwrite it in real time. This is how you starve the old identity and feed the new one. This is how the belief moves from a hope to a certainty. The blueprint has been designed, the belief is being forged in the fire of ritual. Now comes the moment of truth. An identity is not real until it is tested in the battlefield of the world. This is phase 3, the phase of the general. Here, your new identity takes command of your physical actions and begins to impose its will upon reality. Indecision is the primary symptom of a weak, fractured identity. A man who does not know who he is will always hesitate. He is torn between the voice of his fear and the whisper of his ambition. The general, however, operates from a place of absolute clarity. He has his blueprint, the avatar. He has his conviction, the believer. Therefore, his decisions are swift, firm, and decisive. As it is written, the mastery of procrastination comes through decision. Men of great achievement are known for their ability to reach decisions promptly and to change them slowly. If ever, men who fail are known for taking forever to reach a decision and then changing it at the first sign of opposition. A firm decision is a signal of power that your own mind and the world respects. Here we must distinguish between two types of action, forced action versus congruent action. Forced action is what you have been doing. It's the old, fearful you, trying to perform the actions of a wealthy man. It is exhausting, unnatural, and unsustainable because it goes against your core programming. It is an act of willpower fighting against your own identity. Congruent action is the domain of the general. It is your new avatar, your true identity, simply behaving according to its nature. The action flows effortlessly from who you are. It is not a struggle, it is an expression. The general doesn't try to be courageous. He acts from a baseline of courage. He doesn't force himself to be disciplined. His actions are the natural output of a disciplined identity. This is the freedom you seek, the freedom that comes when your actions are a perfect, seamless extension of your internal self. When you no longer have to fight yourself to do what you know must be done. The general does not debate with his subordinate soldiers. He gives the command and the body obeys. This is the phase where you begin to feel the shift. You will notice a new sense of authority in your own movements, a new weight to your words, a new speed in your execution. This is your new identity, taking the throne and beginning its reign. This is you becoming the commander of your life. The general proves his authority not in thought but on the field. Your identity must now be validated through action. We will do this with two critical maneuvers. The first is a practical mission you will undertake this week. I call it the action of boldness. You will consciously and deliberately perform one action that your old self would have been terrified to attempt. This action must be something that your wealth avatar would consider routine. It could be requesting a meeting with your superior to present a high-value idea. It could be finally making that sales call you've been dreading. It could be making a firm, fair offer on something you wish to acquire. It could be starting a conversation with a potential mentor you admire. The outcome of the action is secondary. The primary victory is in the execution itself. By taking this action, you are sending the most powerful signal possible to your subconscious. Mind, the old commander is gone. The new general is in charge now. This is how we operate. This single bold action will do more to solidify your new identity than 1,000 affirmations. The second maneuver is a deeper, ongoing strategy, understanding that every action is a vote for your identity. Think of it like this: your old self and your new avatar are in an election for control of your life. Every time you hesitate, you vote for the old self. Every time you act with fear, you vote for the old self. Every time you speak words of lack, you vote for the old self. But every time you act decisively from a place of congruent power, you cast a powerful vote for your new avatar. Every time you take that action of boldness, you are stuffing the ballot box. When your new identity receives enough votes consistently over time, it wins the election. It becomes your new internal democracy. There is no more debate. It becomes your default state. This is how you build a track record of success with yourself. This is how you build self-trust. You are proving through tangible evidence that you are the man you have declared yourself to be. The feeling of confidence you crave is not a gift, it is a reward. It is the prize you earn for consistently acting in alignment with your highest self. So your orders are clear. First, define and execute your action of boldness within the next 7 days. Second, from this moment forward, view every single choice and action as a vote. Consciously cast your vote for the general, build his majority, solidify his rule. This is how you make the transformation real and permanent. The general has won the war. Now the conqueror must rule the peace. This is the final phase where your new identity is no longer an aspiration or an act, but a consolidated, integrated, and unshakable reality. This is where your inner world and your outer world finally achieve perfect, harmonious synchronicity. The tool of the conqueror is persistence. Persistence is what separates the champions from the almost wers. But persistence is not about brute force. True persistence is the natural outcome of a consolidated identity. It becomes easy to persist when your actions are a direct reflection of who you are. You don't have to try to persist any more than you have to try to breathe. It is simply your nature. The conqueror is not a man who never faces obstacles or setbacks. That is a fantasy. The conqueror is a man whose identity is no longer threatened by them. When you know at a core level that you are a magnet for wealth and a creator of value, a no from a client is not a personal rejection, it's just feedback. A failed project is not a sign of your inadequacy, it's a valuable lesson in strategy. This is the highest level of mental freedom. It is the ability to divorce your identity from your results. Your identity as the conqueror is permanent and internal. Your results are temporary and external. When you achieve this separation, you become invincible. No temporary defeat can ever touch the core of who you are. This brings us to the ultimate alchemy, the lesson that turns lead into gold. It is this: within every adversity, every failure, every heartbreak lies the seed of an equivalent or greater benefit. The average man curses his setbacks, the conqueror mines them for gold. He knows that the obstacle is not in the way. The obstacle is the way. He understands that the universe sends him these challenges not to break him, but to prove to him how strong he has become. Every problem solved is another layer of armor. Every lesson learned is another weapon in his arsenal. He doesn't just endure hardship. He metabolizes it, converting it into pure power. This is the mindset that makes you unstoppable. When you can look at your greatest challenges and sincerely ask, what is the gift here? You have reached the level of a true master. You have consolidated your power. Your new identity is no longer a project. It is your fortress. And from this fortress, you will build your empire. To solidify the conqueror's rule, you need to establish systems that continually reinforce your new reality. The mind believes what it sees, so you must show it evidence of its new power. Your first tool is the evidence journal. This is a practical, nightly ritual that trains your brain to recognize your new identity in action. Every single night before you sleep, you will write down 3 pieces of evidence from your day that prove your new identity is manifesting. These do not have to be earth-shattering victories. They can be small, a compliment you received on your confident demeanor, a decision you made without hesitation, an opportunity you noticed that you would have missed before, a moment you chose power over fear. This practice is incredibly powerful. It literally reprograms your brain's reticular activating system, the filter that determines what you notice in the world. By consciously looking for evidence of your success and power, you train your brain to find more of it. You begin to walk through your day seeing proof of your new identity everywhere. Your second tool is the constructive after action review. This is how the conqueror processes setbacks. When you face an obstacle or a temporary defeat, you do not engage in self-blame. That is the way of the old identity. Instead, you conduct a strategic review as a battlefield commander would. You ask yourself 3 questions. First, what is the seed of benefit here? What is the hidden gift or lesson in this situation? Second, what is this trying to teach me about my plan, my strategy, or my approach? Third, how would my avatar, the conqueror, use this event to become even stronger and more intelligent? This transforms every failure into a strategic debriefing. This process removes the emotional charge from failure and replaces it with analytical power. You are no longer a victim of circumstance. You are a student of the game. You learn, adapt, and grow stronger with every challenge. Your resilience becomes infinite because every arrow fired at you is melted down and reforged into a part of your own armor. These 2 tools, the evidence journal and the after action review, are the systems that maintain the conqueror's reign. The journal proves his power daily. The review ensures that nothing can ever diminish it. This is how your new identity becomes not just a habit, but a self-sustaining, ever-strengthening fortress of personal power. Let us now zoom out and see the full, elegant architecture of your transformation. What you have built is not a series of disconnected habits. You have engineered a powerful, self-reinforcing feedback loop. This is the engine of the wealth magnet. This is the system that, once activated, runs on its own momentum, growing stronger with each cycle. It begins with the architect, who projects a clear and definite identity. This blueprint is then given to the believer, who uses ritual and emotional intensity to internalize it as a core truth in the subconscious. This new, deeply held belief then empowers the general to take congruent, decisive action in the world without internal conflict. This congruent action, taken consistently, inevitably produces results in the real world. These results, these victories, are then witnessed and recorded by the conqueror, and this is the magic key. Every victory, no matter how small, serves as undeniable proof that reinforces and strengthens the initial identity and the core belief. The loop is complete. Identity creates belief. Belief drives action. Action produces results, and results validate and fortify the identity. Can you see the power of this? It is a virtuous cycle. It is a spiral of ever-increasing power, confidence, and achievement. The more you become your avatar, the more you believe it. The more you believe it, the more you act like him. The more you act like him, the more results you get. The more results you get, the more you become him. This is the ultimate truth of creation. You attract what you are. Wealth, success, power, these are not things you chase. They are echoes. They are the external resonance of your internal frequency. When you fundamentally change your identity at the core, your external world has no choice but to reorganize itself around this new, powerful signal. This is why trying is so draining and ineffective. It's an attempt to get a different result without changing the core signal. It's like shouting at a mirror, demanding it to show you a different person. The mirror can only reflect who is standing in front of it. The work is not to change the mirror. The work is to change the man. Now we will seal this code. This is not just a concept you have learned. It is who you are becoming. Prepare yourself. We will now give the final command to your subconscious mind. Breathe deeply. Repeat these words. With the conviction of a man who is already victorious, I am the architect of my soul. I am the master of my fate. I am the magnet for all that I desire. We have reached the end of the training, but we are at the beginning of your new life. Knowledge without application is merely a rumor. The power of this entire process hinges on one final act, your absolute, non-negotiable commitment. You must. Now move from being a student to being a practitioner. You must seal this transformation with a solemn vow to yourself. This is your final command. You will not just think about this. You will not just try to do this. You will take out a fresh sheet of paper or open a new document, and you will draft a contract with the most important person in your life, your future self. This is your new identity contract. This document will be your declaration of independence from your old patterns, your old limitations, your old life. It is your formal acceptance of your new power and your new responsibility. It is the moment you stop asking for permission to be great and start commanding it. This is the act that makes the entire process real. The terms of the contract are simple but profound. You will write these words or your own powerful version of them. I, your name, on this day, today's date, do hereby commit, without reservation, to the four-phase process of becoming the man described in my wealth avatar. Blueprint. You will continue. I will faithfully execute the daily rituals of the believer. I will act with the courage of the general. I will learn with the wisdom of the conqueror. I will follow this path for the next 90 days, without exception, for I understand that my identity is the sole cause of all my results, and I now choose to be the cause of a magnificent life. Then you will do the most important thing. You will sign your name to it. Sign it with a pen that feels powerful in your hand. Sign it as if you are signing a treaty that will define the next 50 years of your life, because you are a place. This contract somewhere, you will see it every single day, by your bed, on your mirror. Let it be the first thing you see in the morning and the last thing you see at night. This contract is your anchor. It is your constitution. It is the sacred text of your new reality. When doubt creeps in, you will read it. When fear whispers, you will read it. When the old you tries to reclaim the throne, you will hold up this contract and you will remind him that his reign is over. You have given the command. Now live by the code. We have journeyed far today. We have dismantled the lie that tells you to work harder and installed the truth that commands you to become more. You now hold the blueprint, the tools, and the battle plan to forge a new identity, an identity so aligned with power and prosperity that wealth is not something you chase, it is something you are. This is not motivation, this is engineering. Your mission does not end when this video fades to black. It begins tomorrow morning with the man you see in the mirror. It begins with the first decision you make. This video is no longer a piece of content. It is your training manual. It is your daily code installation. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to return to this training every morning. For the next 7 days, let these words be the fire that forges your day. Leave a comment below with this declaration: I am the architect. Let this be your public vow, your first act as the commander of your new reality. Your word is your bond. And finally, you know another man who is fighting this same battle, a brother, a friend who is tired of chasing and ready to build. Share this transmission with him. Frame it not as helping him, but as recruiting another soldier for the war against mediocrity. Tell him the time for trying is over. It's time to build. Now go and become.